Hey everyone, what's going on? I figured I would make a video this morning showing you how to play Outlast 2 in Linux, as well as uncapping the frame rate, because by default the game caps to 62 frames per second with VSync off. And, well, when you turn VSync off, quite frankly, it should uncap your frame rate to something much higher than that. And I've got an RX 6600 in my PC, so I can definitely run the game at a much higher frame rate. So yeah, why would I limit it otherwise? You know what I'm saying? However, this method will also allow you to cap your frame rate to anything you want, basically, through an INI file. So you don't have to unlock it if you have a computer that you're struggling to run the game on and you want to cap your frame rate. You don't like using third-party limiters or the graphics control panel limiters. Then you can cap the frame rate or whatever in this INI file. So before I show you the INI file, I'm just going to go ahead and show you, of course, how to install the game, which you have to have Steam installed on your Linux distribution, preferably a more up-to-date Linux distro. I'm 99% positive this would work on any modern distribution like Ubuntu 22.04, Pop! OS 22.04, Linux Mint, Mandrel Linux, Garuda Linux, Fedora 36, and I am using Nobara 36, which is uses Fedora as its foundation, but it is not. It's been turned into its own thing. It's not just a copy of Fedora. The guy that makes Proton Glory Segral actually makes this distro, and he has done amazing work with it. It's absolutely awesome. So, I just set in my Steam. Did not mean to do that. I set in my Steam through the settings here at the top left-hand corner in Steam Play to enable Proton for all titles, and I set it to Proton Experimental. Honestly, I would set that Proton 7.04 because at least in my case, with all the games I have, 7.04 is the version of Proton that I'll use for most of them. Experimental is not necessary, but it is in some games, so I just kind of did that. And with that being said, I believe Outlast 2 I actually installed with Proton 7.04, so... Oh no, okay, I'm using Experimental, my bad. So, since I set Experimental as the default, if I go to install a game here that's not a Linux game, like built for Linux, then it's going to install using Proton Experimental. Now, say if Outlast 2 had a Linux port, it would be running the Linux version. And interestingly enough, hold on a second, because my config files look different. I would be very surprised. It's playable. Okay, this is not a Steam OS game. So I thought maybe that it had a Linux version. You'd be surprised at some of the games out there that do, but it doesn't. So since it does not have a native Linux port, it is running on whatever our default Proton we set for all titles is, which is experimental. So with that being said, of course, you right-click to install, or you can right-click and click install. That's how I do it all the time, or you could just click it and click the install button up here. And it will install the game and create a Proton Experimental prefix in the compact data folder. And that is what it is using to trick the game with things that's running on Windows, basically. So that is step one. Use Proton Experimental. I'm sure 7.04 would also work fine. You could probably get away with using older versions of Proton. I don't know, but I'm using Experimental and the game is working fine, so that's what I'm going to use. Look on ProtonDB, though, if you want to see what other people have used. And with that being said, like I said, the game had a 62 FPS cap, which is fine. Honestly, the game enables VSync by default. So if you're the kind of person that just plays games and you don't mess with settings, you're probably not going to notice, okay? Because it's not going to go to 62. But if you're like me and the first thing you did was uncapped it because you don't like the additional input latency that VSync adds, then you're going to immediately notice that, wow, this is running only 2 frames better. The input latency is going to be better, but it could be much better by uncapping that frame rate. So in order to do that, I'm going to show you a reference here for a video. This is a video where, wow, I think I understand now what the difference here was. Okay, in this video it says to go to the Outlast 2 folder and the OL game folder, and then the config folder, and there's a file in here called OL engine. It's a .ini file. So here's the thing. If we type in Outlast 2 Steam, we'll see that its Steam ID is 414700. So I'm going to look in this folder really quickly. I think I managed to do this frame rate thing a totally different way. So let me come over here into my operating system. We'll go to our home folder, our user folder. We're going to have to show hidden files, and we're going to click on the .steam folder, root, because all of my games are installed on my root drive here, not a different drive. Click on Steam Apps, Compat Data, and we're going to look for, what was that title? 414700. So here it is. We got a prefix, and now after we click on Drive C, we're basically in this game's virtual space for all of its window files. So it would be under Users, Steam User, and now we're in the equivalent of the User folder on Windows. And we'll go to Documents, My Games, Outlast 2, OL Game, Config. Here it is. Okay, so this is the way they recommend doing it in the video. This is not how I did it, okay? My way worked also. And quite honestly, I don't really recommend messing around in line prefixes. If you mess something up in here, it could cause the entire thing to just go kapooey, okay? So, apparently you can edit this olengine.ini here. You can go to edit here in Kate, which is so happens to be the text editor that I'm using. And you can type in max smooth frame rate. Okay, so the way that I do it actually changes this file's data. So I would recommend in Linux just doing it the way that I was doing it, which would be in a totally different folder, and I'll show you that now. But basically, in Windows, this is how you would do it, or the easiest way to do it, but you can also do it this other way. And I'm just guessing that when you start the game up, what it does is writes the edited information to the document folder in the line prefix. So that's how they did it in the video, except a lot more convoluted because it's Linux. Now we're going to go back to the Steam Apps folder common. We're going to look for Outlast 2. We're going to look here. See, this is what I did. I didn't even realize that this was in the documents folder. So I ended up just finding this other way by total accident, because I came to OL game and config. I was like, okay, I don't see olengine.ini, but I saw default engine.ini. I looked in that, I couldn't find the max smooth frame rate. I looked at default system settings, couldn't find it. So I just went back and I was like, okay, well maybe it's in the engine folder because it's an engine file. And I clicked on that and I clicked, okay, config folder. And then I saw base engine.ini. I believe this is the one that I edited. We'll go ahead and look. Max smooth. Yes. So this is the file that I edited. It's in the Steam Apps Common Outlast 2 Engine config folder, and it is the base engine.ini file. So I edited this for my max smooth frame rate to be 0, my minimum smooth frame rate to be 0, and B smooth frame rate equal to false. This would say true, this would say like 24, and this would say like 62 or something like that. So that's what I changed. Apparently, I guess you could technically go through the line prefix to change it, but I would recommend just doing it here because this works, and this is a lot easier to get to because you can get to this file just by right-clicking on the game, properties, local files, browse, and then there you got the engine folder right there, and then the config, and then base engine.ini. So that's how you uncap the frame rate, my method, but you can do it through the line prefix, I think. I don't know if that would cause any issues. So do it at your own risk, but if you're in Windows, I guess the most simple way to do it would be through the documents folder like that tutorial shows. And with that being said, let's launch into the game for a minute and see what's up. We should be running at a whopping way higher than 62 frames per second. I loaded into it a minute ago before I decided to make the video, and I think I was getting like 300, so this game's 5 years old. I think we're going to be pretty well off in frame rate territory here. Hopefully OBS doesn't lag it out. Unfortunately, that happens all the time. Okay, so we're in, and we're playing everything at high preset here. 16x, texture filtering, temporal anti-aliasing. We have motion blur, desync, and shuffle buffering disabled. Now we're going to click continue. We're just going to load in and play. We'll play through the opening or something like that. See what kind of frame rate. And Linux, by the way. This might be higher in Windows, but I mean, at this point, if you're above your target frame rate that you want to play your game at, then it really doesn't matter if Windows is higher, as long as you're happy with the performance. And that's what I've come to learn and accept about Linux. Is some games aren't going to be as good as
Jesus, Blake, are you really sleeping?
I'm awake.
You should have slept last night.
So much
Well, I had to get that hospital footage organized.
100 other
You were calling out some other woman's name.
So I can
What?
take the
In your sleep.
somewhat
Jessica, I think.
negligible performance hit, depending on
You know a Jessica?
Oh,
Some of them it's
no. I mean, I was dreaming about Jessica Gray
I don't even need
from when
those.
we were kids.
Oh,
We're downloading
yeah.
games in the background.
I haven't thought about her in ages.
Hey, we're crossing into reservation land now. You said I'm looking for some sort of factory?
Very little time
Yeah.
to sit here and do this.
We can look, but there's nothing out here.
Trying to
Does look pretty empty.
as best as possible.
All the mercury in that woman's blood,
Yeah,
she had to have spent at least a decade downstream from some pretty heavy industry.
You say so, man. You bought the time.
This game was not even
We
designed.
should record an intro while we're up here. Production value?
Crazy.
Sure.
And pretty much every game in my Steam library that I want
Can't work my diaphragm with this thing on.
Anyway, Linux has done
Audio's gonna be
really,
crap.
really good.
We'll have to. Whoa! The
Valve's
fuck?
done an excellent job with their time.
Sorry about that.
You, the man
My
behind
panel's a
Nobel,
little
Gloria
soft, but
Segwell,
well, we're
you've done
good.
a lot of good too.
That was exciting.
Gloria Segwell and Batman Arkham Asylum wouldn't be as easy to
Get as much of the landscape behind me as you can. You got me?
Yeah, we're good.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Have a soup pie, have a soup pie. Okay. I'm Lynn Langerman, here for newstomorrow.net. We're flying past the Havasupai Indian Reservation in central Arizona in search of the origins of murder victims.
Hey, Lynn, I don't think you should say murdered. We don't know that.
Oh, I'll say she strangled herself to death.
That's what the police report says.
We may play this before the doctor interviews. If this falls on the first 30, we need to get the word murder in there. We should probably mention the fetus too. I mean, how it just...
It's not.
Here, let me try a version that can serve as an intro for the whole piece. Tell me when we're good.
Okay. We're good.
2 weeks ago, a young woman was found wandering, barefoot, pregnant, and alone on a barren stretch of highway 100 miles from the nearest... Oh!
We lost the engine! Fuck! Fuck! I feel the tornado going down! Mayday! 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 1,000 feet! 800! 500! 300! 200! 100!
I think we have to walk through the hallway with lockers here in a minute. Outlast 2, baby. Alright, yep, 200 FPS. I don't think we're going to surpass this at this point. It's already incredibly high, and the game looks absolutely terrific, so... Yeah, sometimes we drop down, closer to 150, 160, 170, something like that, but we're pretty much stuck at 200 most of the time. I love video games that make you waddle down the hall really slow. Taking away my ability to sprint. That is just so interactive and fun. And we're about to actually be in the village.
We're not alone here.
For sure inspired by The Shining. Now, hey, I was a little right. We're getting 215, 220 FPS right now. Oh, unfortunately, I won't play this for very long. Because, I hope the gameplay I showed you is enough to maybe inspire you to try installing it in your own Linux.
Fuck!
And then surely, I mean, I've tested on
Lynn?
Linux systems. No, Vara,
Lynn!
in my opinion, is raw. Just because it's loaded with useful things out of the box. But I've played this game in Ubuntu before. I'm sure it would work just as fine in that OS. Only a handful of games, I think, really benefit from being on the cutting edge games. some games actually benefit less.
Oh shit!
Like Deathloop, for instance, ran
Jesus.
you know, expanded.
Is-
Or manager.
No, there's no bodies.
Or in depth.
She's not in here.
Lynn!
Lynn!
So,
Lynn!
keep in mind, just test it out, your mileage will most definitely vary. Oh. There we go. So, quite honestly, I was
Oh, fuck me!
Fuck. Option, and
That
like a minimum of 60.
not happen in the crash.
20. You know,
Fuck this.
That's kind of what I want the game to do. I don't need any more than 120 FPS. I want 60 hertz panels.
Down.
I prefer
Oh, thank God.
to run my games
Miles from
at as
anything.
high frame rate above 60 as I can, but not exceed 120. That makes sense. I don't need to exceed that frame rate. I'm perfectly content running my game.
Is anybody there? Please.
I don't really remember where to go here. I'm just way too anxious now to play stuff like this the way that I used to.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty bad there, buddy. Hey. Hey, yeah. I don't know how I forgot that happened, but wowza. There's got to be a battery in here. This is not going to be the playthrough I do. I actually did a playthrough this game on like the second hardest difficulty. It was the hardest permadeath. I believe it's permadeath. So, I'm not that good, but I was playing on like Nightmare or Extreme.
Satanas inimicante.
I made it to the very end of the game and ran out of batteries.
God.
I could not navigate pitch black darkness. Yeah.
What in-
Oh, this is terrible, I know.
God.
See, I hate the game makes you focus on the things you don't look at because videos you can go back and watch them later. Your character like this is a really good speedrunning game too, though. I think Outlast 1 is also. They're just very fun. But you know how to beat them.
Bleeds baptism for the spider idland.
You have fun.
Go! Hey! Now, I know I gotta run past you. Where did that very nice looking cult go? Now we're definitely dropping down. This game was not intended to be run at that frame rate, so there's no promise at all that it's going to stick very high above 60, no matter how powerful your computer is. But we've got pretty much everything you want to use. Just playing it on a refresh through the Proton compatibility layer, which, like I said, will diminish performance. And the game was not out of the box set to run at this frame rate, so our performance test here has been surprising in this.
Oh, Jesus. Who?
Then you'll have.
God wants me dead? Okay.
Here's battery. At some point I'd love to channel. Just don't know when I've got so many things to play. Sonic Frontiers comes out in just a few days. That is at the top of my list.
I knew it! For the fury of the Lord comes upon me! Daddy, help! Fire! God! The lamp's still dead! Please! Daddy, oh God!
Crazy stuff.
Daddy, help!
It's
like they're hypnotized.
Why must we do this terrible life?
Do you hate this world? Hey. Do you know what God says? God said on his book, I am that I am, and that's all there is to it. We stand in opposition to the Antichrist. If we hope for peace, we cannot only try to be like Jesus, we need to be like God.
Especially on higher difficulties. I'm watching, but
God has sent us this woman.
Lynn!
yeah, and see, if you're going through this game for the first time yourself, you might think, wow, maybe I should open the door slowly because there's a problem for it. There's really no reason to do that.
God, I ask you, is this our battery?
We have to crawl through
Come into our midst.
I'm ready for the whole thing out here. Yep. Jump scare, jump scare. No, it didn't happen. No, because I didn't get the key. Okay, there's a key somewhere. I think it's back there in the sky like yeah, I just kind of was inspired to come back and play this game because like the Outlast trilogy.
I lay these hands on
I
this
think I backed up the video and I
and ask
planned on
you to
uploading
feel the
it.
truth.
But I
Pray
did a
with
test
me,
of it
tell
on
me.
Linux, and it ran at like 200 frames. The same great gameplay as Outlast. It just worked using Proton. And I was able to blow mine. I find that video I'll just upload it at some point. I'd probably throw it in 5 minutes, something like that. But I do really terribly. I think that's the whole reason I didn't upload it. Yeah, I like how it auto picks up the camera there. Take a picture of what he's reading on the paper, so you can go back and see it later without having to pull out the paper.
Lynn!
We have found Lynn. Whoa.
Oh God, Blake.
Are you okay?
No,
What the fuck?
I don't know. Oh shit. We have to run.
Right there.
Oh, I was taking a sip of my Dr. Pepper. Almost a dog. I can't help it.
Lynn,
I got silly little.
where are we going?
That stuff.
Away from here. Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here. You know what? Here in a minute, I'll check to see if that Outlast Trials video is on here. I made a community post that I don't think any of my 11s saw.
Oh God.
What is it?
But I
stomach.
planned on uploading it like 2 or 3 days ago.
It hurts. Something's
I'll
wrong.
look here in a minute on my
Fuck.
drive before I call the video with. Maybe I'll give my final thoughts and we'll see. If I did back it up, then maybe we'll schedule an upload for a day or 2 from now. If not,
I have to stop. I need. Oh God.
Jesus Christ, Lynn!
Small.
What's happening here?
You were
slower
dead.
moments in this game.
When you fell, I thought we were all dead.
It's kind of like Resident Evil 7 where
I'm here.
you're walking behind me.
We're gonna get out of here,
5 whole
okay?
minutes. Probably not that.
God.
What did they do to you?
That's very scripted in that
I can't talk about it.
I have news for you.
Please don't ask me.
This evening, after all these years,
Coming.
after all
They're
this
coming.
suffering, our faith has been proven.
No, we're not wasting that camera.
A woman who came to Temple Gate this day from the outside world brought
Yeah,
with
this game
her
looks
the foul
incredible.
burden we've been awaiting all this
I
time.
own Outlast 1 and 2 on the Switch, and they are terrific.
He has a
Look
child.
good. Felt
I
like
performed the examination
I don't know.
myself.
Tell.
And
He's
it is
insane.
imperative
They're all fucking insane.
Between 30 and 60.
the devil
Please,
is
Blake, I
in
just
her
want to get out of here.
that she is a
Pregnant.
wrong as is the
fuck
yoke
is going
man
on?
who spilled his
I
seed
can't.
into that
Not now.
revolting vessel.
When I'd probably spend most of his job.
Fathers and
Let's
children,
just get away from this place.
30 to
kill
60.
them.
Okay.
Soak the earth with their blood.
Between 30 to
Rip the devil from her belly and crush it beneath your boat hail.
And it's
Revelation.
Stay back!
like
And we
Resident Evil
must
7.
march in. Oh
Swear to fucking Christ, the first person who touches me loses their eyes. God, no!
God.
No!
God wants the child. God wants the child.
Get off me! Get off me!
God wants
Lynn! Lynn! No, you...
No!
You motherfuckers! Get off me! You leave her alone! Leave her alone! Lynn! Lynn! Fuck you!
I've watched my father fuck your god to death.
Wait! Wait!
Lynn, no! Wait! No, wait! Don't! No! No! Oh! For fuck's sake!
Take her home. I want to share my love with the father.
Motherfucker!
God doesn't love you. Not like I do. Yes, my love. We have, Mother. I think I'll see you again.
And I'm super experienced. Oh, he's punched me out. Yeah,
Oh shit! Lynn!
I'd love to see an Outlast game with some combat. Even if it's just
Lynn!
a melee weapon, that you can knock it in the back, like, parried time, you know?
Jesus, God!
I think just have an Outlast game where...
Fuck were they?
You know, I don't know. I mean, we've
Called
had
them heretics.
2 so far.
They
both
called
DLC
Lynn
and Outlast
Mother.
called them.
It's not just the cult.
Why not?
It's 2 sides. Christians and... something else.
Yeah, we're coming too close here. Game just saved some call quits here. Yeah, we're definitely running well above 60 FPS most of the time, but there are times it's dropped down. Of course, like I said, I'm downloading some stuff in the background, and this isn't meant to be like some super accurate performance test. It's just meant to show how to play the game in Linux, plus how to uncap the frame rate, as well as what that performance might look like on across the board with computers. Because I'm sure even if you had a 1050 Ti and you're playing this game on 1080p low, I'm sure you could get above 60 FPS. I used to play that game on a 1050 Ti high settings or medium and get almost to around 60. I think it's been a long time, but it's definitely something to be optimized. Even if you're running at a lower resolution, for sure, you definitely get a lot more frames. Which I could have tested honestly, but I didn't think about it. We probably could have done. I'm pretty sure we're CPU limited. If we were GPU limited, I'm sure we could have gotten a lot more frames just by turning down the resolution. But yeah, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thanks for listening to me ramble on. And I hope that you found this video helpful and informative to your goal of becoming a better gamer in Linux. And yeah, be sure to hit the like button or dislike it if you dislike it. And subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications if you'd like to help me grow as a content creator. And be sure to come back in the future and watch some of my videos because I've got some really cool stuff coming up. I have a Gotham Knights review planned. I just haven't done it yet because I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. We've got some Sonic Frontiers. We'll have a video day 1, first 30 minutes in Linux, and a how to play video, assuming the game works. And of course, Spider-Man Miles Morales next month, or sorry, this month, in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So it's gonna be great. But yeah. I hope to see all of you very soon. And it has been your boy, the Linux Proton Guy, /no viewers. And yeah, I'm going to turn the video off now. Thanks for watching.